Hello, you are listening to the LYINA podcast, and this is Arati.
And this is Barsha.
Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to start
talking about something very something I guess we use on a daily. Myself more than you.
Yeah. But I think a lot of us don't realize the negative impacts that it has. So I want to start by asking, what comes to your mind, Barsha, when you hear the word filter?
Fake. Not necessarily just like makeup wise, and just let's say artificial rather than fake, because I think fake just you can people can take it in a wrong way, but like artificial, something that's not real, something that's a cover up, something, yeah, sort of that line, like editing. Well, I'm thinking filters on it. I mind myself, of course, Instagram filters and that sort of things come to my mind. But yeah.
When I hear the word filter, do you know what it reminds you of? It reminds
Coffee
you of
filters?
No, get it like back in like way before all these filters came out, you only had like the basic camera filters, the black and white, or like, you know, the sepia filter, which is like the yellow toned, and or you have that the proper green. Basically one-tone filters that we used to have before technology got wilder, basically.
That's crazy because, in a sense, it still links up because, again, camera filters, right? But just the meaning has changed behind it. And, like, I totally forgot about it. I was like, oh, shit, where did that go?
I think one of my earliest memories of, like, experiencing any kind of filters would be photo booth. Wouldn't you agree?
If we're talking
laptop camera filters.
I think if we're talking about filter in a sense that one's an editing or manipulating photos, I think photo booth my first experience or introduction to this was Blingy. Do you remember that website?
What's Blingy?
Oh my god! Okay, guys, if you're listening, like, hello, OG editors, you're gonna say,
well, I've never heard of that.
So basically, it was this website where you can literally upload your photos and then they had like gifts, stickers that you can stick on. And I remember adding like stickers and any fake lashes got stickers.
Oh my god!
I had to align it perfectly. Okay, so that would be my first introduction to it, and I would say I was like maybe 12, 13. Yeah, this is Hiola maybe. So that was my first experience.
Wow, okay. Blingy?
Blingy. So BLINGE.
I wonder if it still exists.
Well,
I've never heard of that before. Barsha said it right now.
Yeah, so it still exists. Oh my god, you guys. So a creative community for animated pictures and graphics.
Ooh.
So online editor, yeah. So that was my first introduction to editing or filters.
Yeah, so for me, I think it would be just your photo booth that you would get in like the arcade or room.
Oh, do you mean like the store?
Yeah.
Shit, when I heard like because of freaking Apple, I'm thinking like computer go photo booth.
Like man. You know, like
like Chinatown or Romania and stuff like
those
that.
ones.
Shit, yeah. I get you, yeah. Oh my god.
And then came the big Snapchat around 2014, or I don't know exactly what year, but
you know what? Like, sorry, this
quite a while ago.
Sidetrack, but I feel very old because to me and in my head, I'm like, nobody uses Snapchat, but people still heavily use it. Yeah, I'm like, anyways, yeah,
yeah. And I think the most, Snapchat lineola, like the biggest change of facial features when they started introducing it, because I don't remember Instagram being as that because it's quite in the later years, like the few recent years that Instagram was able to do that. But before that, especially with Snapchat's the popular dog filter that everyone knows, and then they started experimenting with like other filters, and then it started becoming more and more neutral and a bit more a bit more focused on like facial features, but well, yeah, I think like that seems to have been overly and very heavily adapted by Instagram now as well.
And of course, because Facebook is also like it's an owned by thingy, it's travel onto Facebook too. And it's crazy because I think I don't exactly know if this is true or not, but I think YouTube money is okay. Well, I don't know if you can actually use it, but I know that, you know how Instagram and Facebook, they have stories.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube has that.
Yes.
This is
I've
weird.
seen that
and
too.
Netflix has that.
What?
I came across it. It was so weird. Like I was literally scrolling on Netflix and it was like clips of movies and word, okay? But it's weird how these different platforms are adapting to it.
That's so weird.
I think with the filters then, like, you know how you mentioned Snapchat started it all and then Instagram took it and so on. But what Instagram did was so genius because like Instagram created a separate platform. I think it was called like Spark something, I don't know, Spark AR or something. So basically anyone, you, myself, anyone could go on it and edit it and make your own filter. Again, that changed the game. Because people were like creating all this and that. I think that really just stepped it up for Instagram.
And I think that allowed a lot of creators to experiment with it as well. I remember you did a few as well. Back a while ago.
Yeah, it's crazy how.
So yeah, that is our topic for today, guys. That is what we are discussing. How social media and filters have, I guess, an impact on most of our lives, or if not all. So yeah, me and Barsha, we ourselves took ourselves to our social medias and asked our followers or just friends and families. Well, I wouldn't say families on Instagram, but people who were on our social media a few questions. And do you want to start with what your questions were?
Let's start with the platform actually, because we shared it among 3 different accounts in it. So it was the Lost Disco accounts, because I think we had like a lot of questions as well, so we didn't want to just bombard the audience with like 10 questions. So we had a few, like I'll got a few for LYINA, half of them, a little bit of them to myself, and then yours as well. So let's start with LYINA now. So LYINA Matse, we asked basically, which camera do you use the most? Do you use your phone ko afne camera, or do you use like third-party apps or where, you know, you can already like pre-existing filters book a camera, okay? I was actually surprised because I thought most would say like beauty camera, but we had like 65% of the audience saying that they use the phone camera, and then the 35% saying that they use the beauty camera. I think it's much, I'll have to admit, I'll get mistake boys like, you know, when we should have added like a follow-up question saying, if you do take a photo with your phone camera, do you edit it then go on and edit it? Okay. I mean, we sort of asked a similar question now, which was like, so if you do use a third-party apps like those beauty cams, what do you use? And I saw the few. So of course the popular one was Beauty Cam. There was B621, which is like the snorkel camera, sunny snow.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like that. And the other one was PixArt. So these are the 3 that our audience said. And we also asked actually, which in-app filters do you use the most? So it's kind of like filters that already exist within the platform. Majority said Snapchat and Instagram filters.
Ooh, okay.
So nobody uses Facebook.
Snapchat's still popular.
It's still popular. So there's that. So that's the sort of results from LYINA. So on my one, I asked a few questions as well. So I asked, before posting, do you edit your photos? So we had, actually it was very close to bottom now. So we had 39 people that said that they do edit it in it. So that was a 53%, and 47% said that they did not edit their photos. But you know, you can check up yes, but no. No, mainly it was of course the guys saying that they don't edit, and we had majority of the girls that said that they do edit their photos. And we also did like a follow-up question to that, you know. So what do you edit? Okay, like if you do edit, then what is it that you edit out? Say, majority, I think this again came to me as a surprise, because I thought majority would say like, oh, you know, I blur my pores or remove my acne marks, but majority of them was to enhance existing makeup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that to me was a surprise, because personally, you know, when I do it, I just kind of do it to minimize the pores and never to enhance the photos. But I know like I've seen other YouTube beauty gurus, they like add highlighters and highlights and stuff like that. So that was interesting to me. So that was that. And we also left a space for individuals to, if that didn't apply to them, to have like a different area where they could say, type it in basically. Any others, mage. So here, most of them said that they adjust the lighting or the saturation or the gear. So that one again, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Somebody said to add noise, so a little bit of effect onto the picture. And then the other one again, I didn't think of this, said to edit or remove or alter the background. So if there's any individuals that they maybe want to get rid of, then they of course edit them out and so on. So that to me again was a surprise. So following on to from that, we also asked why. Why is it that you edit your photos before posting? So of course somebody said that, well, actually majority of the people were saying insecurities or to enhance or to perfect it or the social pressure. We also had somebody saying that they wanted to create or they wanted to edit simply because it fit nicely together on the feed. I feel like I could so relate to this person.
That is very you.
And then there's one person who I found it quite funny, said, I mean, if there's an option to edit, then why not? So I was like, okay, it makes sense. I'm saying why not if you've got the option there. And then lastly, sorry, this is a bit long. Lastly, we asked, so from a scale from 1 to 10, what would you say like you edit and what would you rate after editing gear? Like from 1 being the little to non-edit or like adjustments to 10 being heavily edited photos. Again, average of about 4.5 with you in between. So that was the results from my end. So what about you?
So in the past few months, have you posted a raw photo completely unfiltered or untouched in any way? So 63% said yes and 37% said no, which was a little bit wow to me because I somehow had this image that a lot of people wouldn't be posting a very natural picture. So that was wow. Okay,
that's surprising
nice
to me as well because the photos that I upload and also the photos that I've seen from other people, it does look like it's been edited good. So this is a surprising. I mean, it's good results, I know, but it's surprising.
Yeah. So, and then the next question was, do you feel confident posting an unfiltered photo? The results were again same. So 63% said yes and only 37% said no. And I left a comment box for any of those who did feel that they didn't feel confident, and I asked why not. And some of the responses were, it looks plain and boring, but also because they were insecure of their face. Combination of, again, hating their skin and the pressure from social media. Yeah, so, and the last response that I had was, yes, I was confident in the past, but not at the moment because my face has been spiking up with acne and majorly because of having to wear the mask. And I think a lot of people during the pandemic and the lockdown experience mask acnes.
But it's annoying because obviously we're wearing masks, right? For girls, like, come on, we're wearing masks, so obviously we're kind of like, makeup gone para din a bunch. And you think your skin's gonna be better, but no, you're being cooked up under the mask. Like, it just gets worse.
Right. Oh my god, you're just breathing in your own.
Yeah, dude.
Carbon dioxide or whatever. I don't really know how that works, but okay. And then the last question from my side was, what are your thoughts on Instagram or Snapchat filters that helps blur skin or pores, brightens teeth, removes acne scars and marks? And some of the comments were, I feel that people may judge me having acne or pimples, and filter helps to hide my flaws. It's all fun and games until it starts to fuck you up mentally. It makes you feel like a model. It's getting progressively harmful to my self-esteem since I rely on filters now, and maybe other people are the same too. As long as you're not obsessed over it, I think there's no harm. I think if they want to, it's cool, just don't lose touch with reality. and Goro Bonauni filter and it's good for when I don't want to wear makeup. So those were the responses for their thoughts on Snapchat filters and Instagram filters.
Okay, so
which I do myself. I use those filters as well on no makeup days, I guess, for when you do want that hint of natural looking makeup or whatnot.
But you don't heavily use it. I
don't really heavily use, I guess, because I don't really use social media as much as well. I mean, I use it, but I don't like post pictures regularly that much. So
because like, dude, for me, obviously it came up like that it was kind of like, oh, fun and games, look at these filters, blah blah blah, and this is something. But I've noticed like in the past couple of months maybe, like I just cannot take a normal photo on my phone camera.
Oh my
it's
God.
Gone to, and then I think I was like I just say that first course, you know, when you think like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do my hair, my makeup, and then especially when you haven't done it for a long time as well, I was like, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna take nice photos for Instagram, I'm gonna at the same time make some TikTok videos, right? So I literally stuck to it. I woke up in the morning feeling happy and all that shit. Makeup and you know when sometimes like you do your makeup and you're happy with your makeup, is satisfied, but it just doesn't show in the camera.
Oh yes,
so annoying. So I got dressed up. I said, look, I've been like, my room's all now a mess because I'm like going through all these clothes. And then suddenly I put my camera like ready to go photo in the light, and I turned my normal camera on, and I was like effing disappointed. I was like,
God,
this is what I look. No, I don't like this. I started picking like all these little details out, okay? And I switched over to Snow because that's the camera I use. Yeah, I went there, and that's it. I try not to. I am mindful of it because like you can set the intensity of the pores or remove one socks and so on. So I try to have it like very little, but yeah, it's just so bad because that day I was like, my mood was completely destroyed, and then I didn't even end up taking any photos or any videos. No. My makeup was a waste, so that was all a waste of time. But like it got so bad to a point where I started dating my guy. I was like, oh my God, like it's really negatively affected me to a point where I didn't even realize and then I looked back into the past prior and then a couple of months before that, and I was like, you know what, photos it's always been on beauty cam case, never been on like thingy. So that's when I realized, oh shit, it's really fucked me up. It's bad, man. Like initially it's kind of like, oh, fun and games, and you don't realize it as well how much of it like it really affects you. But yeah, that's what it is.
I think I tend to, even though I don't regularly post pictures, I actively do try to like stay away from like these filters, because I know that once you start liking the image that you see of yourself, which is not in reality yourself, but it's adjusted reality, then you start to expect more of it. And I guess I don't want to find myself in that kind of rabbit hole where I'm like saying, oh, but I look like that on camera, why do I not look the same in the mirror? And then like, I don't want that. So I think that's probably the reason why I try to like stay away from filters and like using, especially like using it on social media.
Just a question, with your phone currently, does it have like existing in the phone camera? Does it have existing filters, I guess you would call it, like things?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's really interesting, because okay, so for me, like I've had iPhone in the past, and then I was like, you know what, I know Apple sheep, and I changed over to Android for 2 years. And it's interesting because Android go your Samsung, let's say, after a normal camera you can adjust the skin texture and everything, so that was very different to me.
I think I had maybe some features of that on my old phone, which was Samsung, but at the moment not on this phone. I just have brightness enhancer and that's it.
Oh shit. And then I think that's why as well, because like when a Samsung, let's say, I would be okay to take photos on the normal camera, and that's why whenever I switch to this camera, like I'm like, nah, I can't do it, so I have to go to like the app. It's so bad. But interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't have these features on my phone, unfortunately.
You don't
but
need
it's
it, girl.
okay, I don't need it. But yeah, on talks of social media and filters and self-esteem, we just wanted to add on as well a campaign that has been started by Dove. And I actually looked up their website, and this I wasn't aware of. So they actually have a project, the Dove, the company, they've had the project since 2004. So the name of the project is the Dove Self-Esteem Project. So they have a mission for helping build positive body image, and it started since 2004, and
Still ongoing?
It's still ongoing. So it is. So what Dove aims to do is their end goal is to educate 250 million people by 2030.
Wow.
So it is now, I guess,
worldwide or
8 years away. I think it is worldwide. Worldwide. What did I even say? Worldwide, I guess. But yeah, like I didn't realize that Dove had been doing such campaigns like since ever since 2004. I only came across this because Dove has recently come out with the reverse selfie campaign, specially appointed to young teenagers and parents about the harms and the negative impact filters could have. If you guys are interested, then you guys should go and watch it, but I would recommend everyone to go watch the reverse selfie video clip that Dove have released. It is mind-blowing. It's like, wow.
I haven't watched this, so I definitely will check it out after this.
It's like even us, we're like in our mid-20s now, but like we look at younger people or like people who are younger than us, and we just say, oh my god, like Jenny, she looks so grown up, look at how well she's done her makeup and all of that. This, like, it the video attaches so well to that, like, so it basically portrays a 12-13 year old, a very preteen, a young teen, and then the video goes through with her taking a selfie and then adjusting herself with filters and then adding more filters to it to make herself look grown, if that makes sense. And then it just kind of reminded me, like, maybe our social media and how progressively the technology has made our younger generation this way, okay? And the video reflects that so clearly. I was like, oh my god.
I think I did hear something like, somebody mentioned this ages ago, and I think I may have mentioned it in the previous podcast, but apparently women, half of our life we spend, the first half of our life we spend trying to look older, and the other half trying to look younger. And I was like, oh shit,
that makes a lot of sense.
My days.
Oh my god, that is so true. And Dove also carries out a lot of surveys in according to their project. So one of the projects, from the Self-Esteem project, one of the statistics that they came out with was 60% of girls did not feel happy or they were upset with the appearance that they had compared to the one that they were seeing online, which means which is a really sad reality.
Especially like, I think they're talking about the young girls as well. Okay, now when looking and reading and hearing such statistics, like, I'm so glad that we were raised in a generation where like we didn't have
much technology,
access to this. Okay, otherwise I don't know what the fuck. So I'm really glad that at least we've had flip phones that had no filters or had to go and suffer being edit, go the drag and drop, and it looked so fake. But yeah, like, because it's crazy how real it looks. Okay? Well, actually, quickly, though, do you remember this? It was like a little short trend where guys were like using Snapchat filters to look like a girl version of themselves.
Oh yes,
how real that looks.
Yes.
Oh my god, I can't believe some of the filters and how real, and oh my god, scary.
Yes, that is scary.
So I'm very, very glad that we didn't have to be raised in that sort of era. But now,
I do want to just add in as well, most of the research results are from the US, and there is another statistic that states by age 13, 80% of girls distort the way they look online, which is to me shocking.
That's massive.
At 13.
That's massive. So you're talking about filters and do you know the term Snapchat dysmorphia?
Oh my god, you know what? Yes. Well, I have heard of it. Not Snapchat dysmorphia, but like just having face dysmorphia and having about like self-esteem issues, I guess, with your face. And yeah, I have heard of the term though.
But it's crazy how like obviously with the age and everything, the world, technology adapting, blah blah blah, there's obviously going to be new terms, but to think that this is the actual term now, okay? So this actually like I think established or came out 2018 the term is basically used to describe when patients seek out surgery to help them appear like the filtered version of themselves.
Oh my lord.
Isn't that crazy? Like literally people will use these filters to and they like what they see and they go to surgeons like, yo, can I do this? Can I basically get this? Yeah. That's crazy to me.
That is scary. Have you seen the recent TikTok trend as well where
what is it?
Where you take a picture and then it shows you how symmetrical your face is.
Oh, the inverted one.
Oh,
I don't even want to try it. I have not tried it.
I feel like that itself would give a lot of people a fear of having the long-term face dysmorphia, because you then start analyzing, oh my god, my face is not symmetrical, it's lopsided on one side, look at my eyes, they're like start nitpicking on every single thing after seeing that, which I think is not a very good trend.
I remember when it first came out, I was like, maybe I'll give it a go, and then I thought to myself, nah, I know for a fact that I'm going to be disappointed, so I'd rather just avoid that disappointment now. So I have not even used that features or
yeah, I saw a few on TikTok. I was like, wow, okay.
So, of course, we talked about, people wanting to look like their online version, going to the surgeon and telling them, that they want to look like this. There was also another research, I believe. I don't exactly know where or who conducted this research right now, but basically they found that users of image-heavy social media platforms like Instagram were more likely to consider going under the knife just because they've seen this altered or this virtual and any versions of themselves. And along with that, apparently, there was another report in 2018 that where plastic surgeons, they stated that about 55% of the patients' surgeries were motivated by a desire to look better in selfies.
Oh my days.
Literally, their goal for going under the knife was to look better in selfies. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy to me too. I don't think I would ever go under the knife to.
Is there anything?
I guess that's just about personal. No, it's personal for everyone, but I don't think I am affected so much that I would need to go under the knife, if that makes sense. Like. But I mean, for anyone who does want to, then like that's their choice. Like I have no judgment on that, but I personally wouldn't.
So like of course we're talking in a sense about social media and the pressure and wanting to look like a certain way because of that, right? Has there ever been, like growing up, has there ever been a thought that you've wanted to change something about yourself or like get a plastic surgery for something that you're unhappy with, but it's not motivated by social media or pressure, okay? Has it ever been like this, okay, for you?
I don't think so, no.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, I've always wanted to have growing up, I was like, I'm going to get a boob job.
Oh, yeah,
I think I mentioned that before,
yeah.
And it's crazy because when I used to work at Zara with like some close colleagues, we're all three of us were flat chested, and we would always talk about it. We're like, oh, I can't wait to get boobs job, blah blah blah, we should all get a boob job. So I think around again, it's crazy now 2021 both of them have boob jobs.
Oh shit,
yeah.
really?
So one of them got it done like I think 3-4 years ago. Is the Italy got it up, and then the other one actually got it done last month. Yeah, March, April time. Like it was got it again. It's crazy because she was like showing it to me. And it's crazy. Like,
I bet it looks so much different, like body shape, nature is going to
for sure, completely. But I can see that how it has also positively, but not affected her mental health as well. She's like more confident now. I mean, she was confident before, but now she's more confident. Okay, but it's crazy that they've actually gone ahead and done it. And I actually had a conversation with my mom as well. Okay, I was like, Mom, I think I'm gonna get a boob job. I think I'm gonna go keep on doing it. And she was like, immediately she was like, "Kaunta, this is going no." Not allowed and I would just, whenever she's like reacts that way, I like to egg her on because I was like, I'm gonna go do it. She literally didn't even let me finish my point. She was like, it's so funny. But of course, like, also on top of that, it's weird how the world works, but because like whenever like puja gorsaki, not the birthday candle wish gorsini, I used to be like, I wish I had big boobs, please boobs grow. And then literally it's weird how God works, but because it was kind of like the more older I got, the more comfortable I got. Okay, now I'm at that point, I'm like, flat boobs for life. Like I don't even care about that anymore. So it's crazy how, but that's the only thing, if I could change, that's the only thing I wanted to change in the past. Now I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, going under the knife just doesn't attract me. It more so scares me. Oh my God, like, how do people sit under, like, anesthesia for hours and then get it done? And then you have, like, this whole got the months of recovery and then it's just painful. Oh my God.
Yeah, for me, going under the knife isn't the scary bit. It's more of the healing process.
Yes.
Like, I don't think I can deal with that.
And then you hear these stories of like where it's gone wrong and then the boob implant inside has bursted. Oh my God.
I think the biggest turn off for me especially with the boob job is that you have to get it, I think, taken out and replaced every 10 years. Yeah. I was like, ain't nobody got time for that or money for that. No, thank you.
And especially like because our body is always changing. Imagine like if you have a baby, I think they do say that when you have a breast implant and then you have a baby afterwards, it still does change it because after having a baby, your hormones totally change in your body. So I don't know how people go about with that though. I haven't heard enough about it.
That's interesting.
Yes, so I still would recommend everyone to go check out the Dove website and the campaign that they are undertaking at the moment because it is really good. I think it is also helping target parents of those teens who seem to be affected more, I would say. And what they've actually also done is, so the Dove for this campaign, they have gone ahead and created a guide for parents and teachers to help young teenagers how to deal with self-esteem and how to, I guess, boost your confidence. I guess it acts as a awareness program for parents because as parents, and I imagine like our parents are they're from like the older generation and some of them might be out of touch with how fast technology is growing. And as children, they're exposed to all this technology now. So I think there is that, because of that gap as well, I think parents are finding it hard to communicate it through to their children. And Dove has created this great guide for parents and teachers to help guide children basically and how to connect that bridge.
That's really good because usually you think like, okay, this certain age group, like listen, your young girls are really, they need help. We need to support them. But this time it's kind of like, no, we need to look at people around them and, offer help in a way that how they can help these young kids. Yeah. So that's really good.
I think maybe as well, like parents want to connect to their kids but don't know how to, and I think Dove has really created that platform for that connection with parents and children as well. But yeah, that's a really great campaign by Dove right now.
Definitely check that out. I just wanted to say one more thing. Actually, I came across this while just trying to find more information about this whole Instagram filters and surgeries and that kind of stuff. So this is, I don't know how much you know about plastic surgeries that are in RD, but the most common surgeries, I've looked this up are, number 1, rhinoplasty, so nose job. Oh God, why do they do this? Blepharoplasty, which is basically aesthetically modifying your eye region, which is crazy. So droopy eyelids and removing excess skin, muscle and the fat around the eyes. And the next one would be chin augmentation. So chin implants, which is crazy. So basically the purpose is to build more defined jawline and side profile. And then the next one would be submental liposuction. So contouring the chin or reducing the double chin in the chin or the neck area. So I was confused between this and the previous one that I mentioned. So the previous one is to basically target the jaw and the chin, whereas this the second one that I mentioned, or the third, submental liposuction, is basically targeting neck and below the jawline, basically. And the final one, of course, facelift surgery, cosmetic surgery to lift up and pull back the skin to make the face tighter and smoother. It's crazy because you know how mentally crow's feet ones, isn't he? When you smile,
the wrinkles.
Yeah, apparently I've heard as well. You know, like when you get to a certain age, or like let's say 30s, even 40s, people, even if they're in a group and somebody's sharing something funny, they refuse to laugh.
Oh, because that is going to
have an effect in the long run. Okay, I'm like, just enjoy your life. Like, why? That was so crazy to me. I'm like, it's natural stuff. Just it has stories. You know, your lines, your wrinkles, all have stories.
But crazy. I think you especially it's crazy to me that all of these plastic surgeries they came about in a way for science to help patients who had problems. Say someone had a broken nose, so that's why they would go get rhinoplasty. If customers had got in an accident and injured their eye, that's when they would get the B something plasty, right? So it's crazy to me how we have taken science, medical science, which is meant to help just about normal patients, to being a beauty cosmetic therapy kind of thing.
In a way, I guess it's kind of like, I've got the money, I'm doing it to myself, it's my decision, and if it can help my mental health and my confidence can improve, then why not? But in argument, I was okay for
and I guess no one's mad because those hospitals and private clinics are getting the money, so I guess it is a win-win situation.
But the only negative downside to that is I've heard also cases of people faking or saying that, for example, I've got a back problem, I need this, I definitely need one, fake or silly, just so they can get it free under the NHS. So I have heard cases like that where you're kind of like taking a piss, like, that's our tax dollars, dollars, pounds. Don't do that. Like, just do what I say. I get irritated a little bit, but
that's true. And especially talking about plastic surgeries, I think we would hear most of the stories coming out from Asian countries or South Korea, where it's so popular with you just hear I'm pretty sure most of the celebrities have had this done, that done. All of the idol groups, they've had this done, that done. It's just wow.
I don't know if you know about this or not. It's basically South Korea, must say, when a girl turns 16 or that they graduate or whatever, this is the occasions, must say, the parents will actually gift the child surgeries.
What?
Eyelid surgeries, to be specific. But it's so crazy. A parent is funding it. I guess it's kind of sad because society ko norm names, any beauty norm, I guess you would call it, is to have double eyelids, to a point where parents are comfortable, or they want their daughter to have the best possible opportunities out there, and willingly. And I also heard because it's so common, it's so cheap as well to get your I've heard
I bet because the culture is like that there, people who don't want to go ahead and get it are looked down on. Oh my god, that's a scary place
talking
to live
about eyes, and I guess in a way it does link up. What are your thoughts on the fox eye trend? You know how it got that, so like in a way, mimicking Asian eyes ones.
I didn't really think much of it. I know like there was like a huge debate going on about it. I think this was like around last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really think anything of it. Like, I don't know. It didn't really like trigger me and say, oh my God, I find that offensive.
I can see where people are coming from because for ages it was like Asian eyes were not desired, like undesirable, whatever. And LYINA say like everyone's trying to copy it. But I didn't, as an Asian, I wasn't offended by them, no. I don't know, like there was a big outrage,
really offended either. But I think it's the way you do the makeup as well that enhances that look. So
I guess makeup, and also I think at that time the popular pose was to have your eye and fingers around the temple, pulling it back, type of thing.
Pose or whatever.
Yeah, so I think that maybe linking that to the makeup maybe could have triggered some people in the wrong way, but yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't think it triggered us as much as maybe other people who have had like bad experiences.
I just want to add a little bit to this, about obviously there's a lot of pressure, social media especially, huge pressure on young girls, young guys, anyone really. So I just wanted to give you guys some takeaways, what you can do, I guess, in a way to not feel too much into pressure and not give in into that pressure, and basically some advice from your sister Versa. So of course the first one would be to limit time on social media. So not exactly just completely well, you can deactivate it, that is an option, but this is also basically saying, for example, you want to go use Instagram right now. Basically set yourself a timer for 20 minutes, use it during that time freely, and once the timer hits or starts making a sound, the timer is up, then you just log off social media. So this is apparently it's very helpful, because we don't realize the amount we spend on social media, because once we get on, we're like scrolling for hours, so especially TikTok, oh my God.
Yeah.
So definitely set yourself a timer.
That is great, because on the Dove campaign that we talked about earlier, one of the guides that it gives parents is to tell their kids to totally switch off from social media as well. So yeah, that's great.
It's good once in a while, could really like detox karne ke. So the other one, of course, if there are accounts that make you feel a certain way, make you feel bad, like unfollow them. Why do you follow them, right? Like, okay, fine. Maybe you need to follow them, let's say, for whatever reason, but there is an option to mute their notifications so definitely go do that as well. If it does make you feel bad about yourself, especially social media, where there's a lot of people that post photos, edited photos, and of course, like towns, and you know that it's not real. It's not that they are 100%. This is the unsa towns, but mentally sometimes it just like lingers on. Again, you don't even realize that it's affecting you. So definitely, if there are accounts that are making you feel bad about yourself, definitely turn off the notification. The other one, of course, is to regularly check in with yourself, reflect on your mood before, during, and after using social media, and if it does in a negative way might affect growth, and try to change that habit, try to change that. So definitely check in with yourself. And lastly, remind yourself, social media is not the reality. It's not a true reflection of the mindset or life. People will only post what they want to post, especially like I mean, there are some people, but majority of the people will only post things that make them feel good, positive things, never like the negative. Post kar dena. And as I said final, but this is the final one. So if you really do feel like if you are struggling and if you do need to speak to somebody about it, definitely go speak to somebody, because it will help. You will maybe find solutions that you didn't even think about. So whether that's talking to your friend, trusted family, friends, or even seeking out and contacting your local GP, they can definitely refer you to services out there that will be able to help you. So definitely do those, I guess. What is sister Borsaga advice?
Yeah, it's so important that you reach out, guys, because your mental health is important. Everyone's mental health is important
above anything else.
And to tie that in, we would also like to remind everyone that this week was Mental Health Awareness Week, which was running from the 10th of May until the 16th of May. I think we talk about mental health awareness every year when it comes around. I feel like which I feel like everyone should do a lot more often too. And the theme for this year's Mental Health Awareness Week was nature and the environment, which is such a great theme.
Concept, yeah.
Because as we all know how the pandemic has affected all of us, and during lockdown we weren't able to go out, we weren't able to socialize a lot, so a lot of us ended up spending a lot of time in nature. And if you do go and look at their website, they do talk about why they decided to choose nature as the theme for this year. And they also talk about how the coronavirus, the pandemic, has affected a lot of people, and how connecting and reconnecting back into nature has been such a great and positive thing for everyone, really.
Yeah, like, I mean, prior to lockdown and the pandemic, of course, by the nature walks and Radzanthia and everything. But I think during pandemic, because that was the only thing you were able to do, like, I was able to appreciate it a lot more. And now I just like, anytime there is a sunny day, I'm just like, let's go for a picnic, let's go out, let's go to the nature, let's go for a hike. It's always that good now. So it's really good. And you're saving money.
Yeah, saving money. The simple things in life.
Hell yeah.
Are always free.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, guys, today has been a lot of talks on filters and self-esteem and images and how we feel about it. And we hope you have enjoyed listening to us once again.
Yeah, definitely check the campaign out. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch that video and I'm curious. So definitely you guys at home, check that out.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, is it quite long? Or is
it's not. It's like a very short video.
Okay.
I think it's under like a minute or just over.
Oh shit, that's very short then. Okay.
But it kind of like fast-paced matter. It shows you the implications and how one would go through the process of taking a picture and then ending up posting it. It shows you the whole process.
Like a timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, definitely. Okay, I'll check that out.
It's crazy good.
All right, guys, that's been this week's episode. We'll catch you guys in about 2 weeks, and follow us on socials where we kind of post regularly, but we do a lot of like post-episode polls. So for example, if you've listened to this one, if you've enjoyed it, we normally do ask like a follow-up questions to hear what you have to say. So definitely follow us on socials. Everything is in the description below. So yeah.
Toodles.
Adios. Bye.
Bye. In the past 6 months, have you posted a posted a row? Oh my god.
Oh my god. So funny. Leave this in.
So in the past 6 months
we're never gonna be able to finish this.
A few moments later.
In the past 6 months, have you posted a raw?
Definitely bloopers. I wish we had a video on right now. This would have been so funny.
Raw. Okay, raw photo.
Okay.
Oh my
Rosabeth,
god.
please add this at the end. Thank you.
Posted a raw. Okay.
You're gonna just keep saying it until it's gonna be weird.